What's going on, everyone? Chris Mack coming at you with a figure that I've been itching to build. This is the Marvel Legends Sasquatch from the Sasquatch Wave. If you guys want to get this figure, as well as the figures that come with the pieces, unfortunately, you're going to have to check out the secondary market because the online stores that we normally talk about do not have it in stock. However, as I always say, first and foremost, support your local comic shop or wherever it is like to get your action figures and comics and grab this set. Now, if you want to build Sasquatch, the left leg comes with Cable. The right arm comes with Domino. The right leg comes with Paladin. The head comes with the X-Force Deadpool. The body comes with X-23. And the left arm comes with Deathlock. So without further ado, let's put this bad boy together. So let's grab the body and get a focus on this thing. Now, one thing that I'm going to stress, just like with articulation, warm this figure up because these peg joints here, oh my goodness, it was absolutely frustrating when I took them out of the package. I could not bend them. I had to put them in front of my space heater for probably about a good 20 minutes to finally get it to do that. So hole, peg, snap, we've got a head, and it's already starting to look good. This arm I need to warm up some more because this thing should come all the way down, and it is in there. So there's some paint that I may have to put this in some hot water, but it should not be that hard. Oh my goodness. Hole, arm, snap. All right, arm. And I've just been itching to put this figure together because Alpha Flight is one of my favorites. I know it's not a huge comic favorite, but I just love the characters. Left leg, peg, Snappy-Roo, right leg, Snap-a-Rooney, and here's Sasquatch put together, and my goodness, is this one gorgeous looking Build-A-Figure. All the paint apps just scream how awesome James Langkowski is. But with that gushing aside, though, is this figure overall worth a flip? Let's get him down off the spinner and let's take a deeper look at this awesome looking figure. Dr. Walter Langkowski was created by John Byrne, first appearing in Uncanny X-Men 120 from April of 1979. Langkowski grew up in British Columbia and was an honor student at the University of Calgary before attending Pennsylvania State University on a football scholarship, earning a degree in physics. While on leave from the university, Walter began working on gamma radiation experiments that could create a being like the Hulk, only under more controlled circumstances. Being bombarded by massive amounts of gamma radiation, he turned into a huge creature, going on a rampage until being found unconscious by Snowbird. Shaman and Snowbird helped Walter learn how to keep his personality and intelligence in his bestial form. After training in the Gamma and Beta flight programs, he was then accepted into Alpha Flight. And this figure is awesome. I'm glad to finally have Sasquatch belt. This wave has been something I've been wanting to go over for a while now, and to finally have this belt, I'm just super excited, y'all. I will say, however, that they had that extra Deadpool in the wave that had the red suit. I didn't get him because I hated when Hasbro releases like an extra figure that has nothing to do with the Build-A-Figure wave. It would have been nice if maybe they would have given like a smiling head, because Walter always kind of smiles when he's jabbing at Puck and whatnot, instead of just the serious face, or maybe another resting hand, just something. That would have been nice. But just to have a tangible version of this figure, I'm going to let that go. Now, as for the paint apps, he doesn't come with any accessories, unfortunately. But overall, he is a gorgeous looking figure. I wish they would have given him more human eyes, but the reds, dots, they're all right. I love all the different shades of brown that they used on this figure. It just adds that lovely otherness to this, especially considering the fact that they completed it all the way around the back. So there have been older figures where the dry brushing and all that stuff stops on the front and the back looks odd to the rest of the wave. So I'm glad that they decided to make sure that this thing had quality to it. Feet look great, especially with the dirty brown Sasquatch toes. And even though it's hard plastic, the fur looks great. I'm disappointed that, you know, these are older, so you get the pinholes. I wish that we could start getting more just continuous pinless joints, because that's, yeah. The mane on his back looks good. All the musculature looks awesome. The loincloth, soft plastic so you can move it around. So this one, believe it or not, you can actually get around the butt flap. No, 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 no. Whoever thought a day like that would come? But yeah, great looking figure overall. As for the articulation, because he is a bigger figure, he is a little stiff. Speaking of stiff, let me explain this to you. I don't know if anybody else has problems with this figure. I don't know which arm it is, but one is, I think it's this one. Let me see. Nope, that one's all right. This one, oh my God. This joint, I have put it in steaming hot water. I've put it up against my space heater. And for the love of God, just trying to move the arm up and down, as you can see, it pops out. But look at this. It's stuck. If any of y'all have any suggestions on how I can get that to actually move, because every time I try to move his arm down, as you can see, it just pops out. As consumers, this should not be our responsibility to have to constantly do. We should be able to just take it out of the box. I know that Hasbro and other companies want to mass produce, but give us a reason to want to spend our money. Don't make us sit here and have to fix your fuck-ups. Sorry, but this is how I feel about it. Because I've seen too many collectors take pictures where they get a figure out of the box and it breaks on them. That should not be our responsibility to have to deal with that. And it's happened to me too many times, and I'm fed up with it. All right, rant over. Articulation, other than this arm, warm this figure up. But I did notice that out of the box, some of the other parts are just really loose, and this leg pops out a lot. Even though he's a bigger figure, I'm glad that the head can look down about that much. But of course, I wish that they'd figure out how to make this softer. I mean, it's kind of pliable, but I wish they'd make it softer or something so you could get the head to look up. That's one thing about long hair figures that drive me nuts. Head goes that way, that way. Get a little bit of play. Arm does spin 360. Oh, I'm struggling, y'all. I'm really struggling. Then he does have the upper bicep swivel. Single jointed elbows. It is older. Hand goes up. Hand goes down, and it does spin. And he is really loose. I mean, that torso. And this is ugly. I wish that they would do something about this too. I don't know about any newer Build-A-Figures, but man, that is ugly. And having to Photoshop that out whenever I do photography, oh, it's always a challenge. But at least he has that range of motion. Twist, twist. And because the loincloth is soft plastic, kick out that way. And as I just showed you, an actual Legends figure that goes 90 degrees backwards. And I mean, look at how loose these joints are. I don't know if that's for everyone else, but mine is just... He does have somewhat double jointed knees. So I'm trying to get past the frustrations because I do love this figure. Foot goes that way, and it does pivot just like all the other ones. Legs go out that far. So the frustration aside that just irks the major gurks, I'm happy with it just because I love Alpha Flight, and I'm happy to have this figure. So I may eventually see if I can find some tighter joints, like go to my comic shop and see if they have any loose Legends and see if the legs feel any better. But anyway, that aside, if you're an Alpha Flight and X-Men fan, this is something that you want in your collection. This has been a wave that's been a long time coming in my backlog, and I'm happy to have finally gone over every single one of these Sasquatch Wave figures, from the Uncanny X-Force Deadpool to that awesome version of Cable to the lovely X-Force version of X-23 and Domino. Paladin, I was really surprised by this figure. I still really enjoy that one. Same with Deathlock. I wasn't sure if I was going to have a good time with him, and man, that was such a cool figure to photograph. And now we are going over Sasquatch. And guys, we got something fancy coming up next with this figure. And I will say, I do wish that when they do waves with Sasquatch in particular, I wish this would have been like an Alpha Flight wave. That would have made more sense. However, the crux to that argument is we got all of these awesome figures. So I can't complain too much because we finally got tangible 90s version of Cable. And that's probably what got me the most excited. Then we got the newer version of Domino, and I'm glad that we finally got the old school Lee-filled version. So that makes me one happy X-Men collector. What do you guys think of this wave and these figures in particular? Are you going to put them on a shelf by team? Are you going to put them on a shelf by waves? Let us know. We'd love to see your shelf pictures along with your action figure photography over on the socials. Overall, I love this figure. Alpha Flight is one of those underrated series that really should be talked about more, and Sasquatch is one of those characters because he's just fit in so many different series, especially in the Hulk. If you haven't read the Immortal Hulk, it's awesome how they kind of bring him into the mix. And then, of course, Puck and Wolverine's relationship because he was part of Department H. I just feel like Alpha Flight isn't talked about enough. However, I don't know if everyone's Sasquatch is the same, but these kind of loose joints and this really stiff arm are probably the things that irk my Gurk the most. But for an older BAF, right up your alley. So if you're an Alpha Flight fan or you love the bigger monster-esque looking figures, this is the figure for you. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen, as I always say, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever it is like to get your action figures and comics, and see if you can get the Build-A-Figure pieces or get the wave, because the entire wave is actually really awesome. And if you are an X-Men fan, you got to have it in your collection. So you can check out the places that we talked about at the beginning of the review. Speaking of, if you did enjoy this review, really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little Alpha Flight bell next to subscribe, that was I can upload content, you guys get notified, come to the channel, and I love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments or the socials, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, photo slideshow coming up next. Hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.